I realized like I had to really utilize this gift if he was giving it back to me in the way he wanted me to do it. So I just started writing over and over and over. I got a lot of venom out of me. And then after a while, I ended up going to a county where I had a DVD player in front of me and everything. And people would come and give me CDs with music on them. And I would start writing to them. And I realized after a while, man, I got a bunch of rhymes stacked up. I have to get out here and do this because I survived. And he still allowed me to utilize this gift. So I feel like to me, it's more than just rap or Christian artist, hip hop artist. This is my calling. You know what I'm saying?
Chip on my shoulder. I got something to prove, like a gun in a holster. Loaded, ready to shoot. Got big energy. Ain't scared to dream. Got big energy. Got big energy.
You know this a different energy, right?
Welcome to the Miller Experience, where we have up-close and personal conversations with people that I admire, that's big fixtures in the game, and guys that's doing major things in the community. And my guest is definitely one of those guys. He's a rapper who survived a street life in 9 years and 4 months in a prison to emerge back into society. With a story to tell and a message about God's saving grace. His music is motivating for everyone who struggles in the human's flesh. That's right, he's an actor. He's a rapper. He's a poet. He's a writer. He's also the composer of the sweet sound you hear in my intro, Different Energy. My man, J.A.C.E the Reacher. What's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you for coming, brother. Thank you, man.
You.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question. So, first of all, if you guys listen to the intro and you hear that eloquent sound of Different Energy, this man right here is the composer of that song. All right? Tell me what inspired you for that song and who's the young lady singing that lovely Different Energy. Don't mind my singing. Word. Tell me about it, man.
Well, one of my homeboys, Illa G's, he's doing time right now, but that's my dog. He was like, yo, you need a song with a female on the hook, you know what I'm saying? And my sister as well, you know. So I started searching on BeatStars. That's where I get my beats. Check out BeatStars. And I finally came across that one, you know what I'm saying? And when I heard it, I was just like, man, this is different energy for real. And I feel like that's what I represent. You know, I'm coming with, you know, I've been in the streets, I've done all of these negative things, and it's flipped to the positivity. So I feel like I'm qualified to speak in this manner. So I wanted to give them a bit of my story, let them know what made me different, you know, let them know where I came from. And the young lady's name is Alonda Rich. Okay. Yeah, she's incredible. I've contacted her a few times.
Shout out to Alonda Rich.
Shout out to Alonda. I've contacted her a few times. We talked and chopped it up. So I definitely want to get the video done.
Yeah, man, do that, bro. When you get that done, holler at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that song, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, dog.
All right, so let's start from the beginning, man. Where are you originally from, man?
I was born in Mississippi. I didn't stay there long enough to remember it.
Moved to crooked letter, huh?
Humpback, all that. Word.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I promise you. We said that so much growing up.
Yeah.
But I moved from there to Sumter when I was young, you know, and I stayed in Sumter until I was probably about 10 or 11, something like that. Then I ended up moving to Baltimore, and that's kind of like where I jumped off the porch at and got into the streets and different things like that.
Okay. Now, we was talking off air, man, about you was locked up for 10 years. How did that happen? What led you to be in the streets and got you locked up? What happened with that?
Well, you know, the main thing was, like I said, I was real intelligent, and Baltimore City is not known for its intelligence, you know. A lot of people I grew up with, you know, we saw the drug dealers, we saw the gangbangers, we saw, you know, just the violence, you know. So going to school, I would have to take like 2 hours to get to school, 2.5 hours, take the buses, and going there, I would see, yeah. We had to get up like 6 to make it like 8:30, you know what I'm saying? So I saw so much, and, you know, I was influenced by so much, and I actually went to a high school that was like one of the best high schools in the country. It was Baltimore City College High School. There was another school called Poly that was for, you know, higher learners as well. But I just was like, all my homeboys and the people I knew and the blocks I grew up around, they didn't look like that. So I felt like it wasn't cool to be intelligent. I didn't know how to hone that gift that I was given. So I just started, you know, skipping school more, you know, started smoking, you know, got introduced to drug dealing, you know, got introduced to just crime. And, you know, I started getting an adrenaline rush from it. So, I went through different things up and down from Baltimore down to South Carolina, up and down, you know, and I eventually ended up just getting involved with the wrong people, end up getting caught up, and there was a murder charge that happened. I didn't actually pull the trigger, but down here they got the hands on one, hands are all.
Guilty by association.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And that's how far I had gone. I lost myself, and I ended up getting incarcerated, and I ended up catching an 11-year prison sentence. Yep. But in the midst of that, I got in the Word, I found God, and all of those 10 years that I was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Roughly 10 years, he took all of that out of me, you know what I'm saying? So in hindsight, I'm really thankful for it.
You say when you went to prison, you found God. Were you a religious guy before you went in?
I knew he existed. I knew he existed without a shadow of a doubt. But I felt like he wanted me, and I didn't want to be, because I thought being a Christian, being a follower of God was corny. So I didn't want to follow that. I went the opposite way. But I always had prayer moments. There were always times where I was stuck in something crazy, or I might have, ducked a bullet or anything, and I knew that it was him watching over me. Times I might have went to court and they threw the whole thing out. So I always knew he existed without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely.
Do you believe in religion, or do you believe in just trying to find the right way to word it? Religion, or just, it's a higher being? Do you believe religion? What I mean by that's man-made in my mind. So I do believe there's a higher source, a higher power, but I don't pretty much follow religion because that's something man created. So what you think about that? I
believe in a relationship. That's what I believe in. I believe in a relationship because I am a follower of Christ, follower of the way, which it was originally. But I have seen what man can do, and the churches can do when it comes to peddling the word, when it comes to, taking the money, when it comes to feeling good and getting up there, speaking eloquently and having people in their emotions. It's not about how you feel, it's about facts. So one thing I've learned, especially during time, was when I was in that cell 23-1, lights went out, I was by myself.
23-1, if you don't know what that is, that means you're in your cell for 23 hours and you're going to come out for 1 hour for rec time. Just imagine that for 11 years. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
So, I went through different phases in that situation, but I just realized, I talked to him, and I spoke to him, and I started getting in the Word, and it started to make sense, and I realized that I didn't need a whole congregation. I didn't need nobody to tell me. Like the Word says, you got the Spirit within you that teaches you the things that you need. All I needed was to have a desire to want to be better, desire to know Him, desire to accept His Son.
That's what I meant by what I said.
Absolutely.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I agree with that. I agree with it because, if I have a relationship with you, we chopping it up right now. That's what makes our relationship stronger. Period.
This episode is sponsored by Will Gregg, owner of KME Auto Cosmetics, where you get more than you expect for less than you thought, and it's not by accident. You can locate KME 380 Neely Street, Sumter, South Carolina. Also, you can make contact with the owner, Will Gregg, at 803-840-8190. Jeffrey Lampkin's Country Boy Kitchen. It's like a Sunday afternoon at Grandma's house. Visit their website at www.lordsoulfood.com for location information and to order online. Train So Hard University, where it's just not a movement, it's a lifestyle. You can contact myself, Excalibur Miller, on Facebook, on my Instagram, The Miller Experience, or you contact my brother, T. Miller, on Facebook, or on Instagram, Prodigal Son 36. What was your first interaction with music?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh man, actually, this is a good one because my mom, my mom was a single parent mother, raising us, and she would always have music playing. So me and my brother and my sisters, we would have to wait in the car sometimes while she handled her business, and that song, "Honey, you are my shining star." So she would put tapes in the radio, and we grew up on Temptations, you know, we grew up on that old Motown stuff. You know, there were times I knew all the words to the Temptations. So music, you know, was something that my mom used to help, you know, keep us positive and raise us. And it was that real good music, that wholesome music.
I feel you on that, man. I was raised off. My granddad was a big James Brown fan.
Oh, yeah.
My mom played music every Saturday, clean up the house and everything. But one, I could tell you this whole album. I know this whole album from back, front, left, right. The Waiting to Exhale album.
Ooh-wee.
My mom, when she was going through that divorce with my dad, man, every time I come home from school, woo, 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 Whitney Houston, man.
Yeah,
From Brandy to Whitney Houston, I heard the whole thing. I knew that whole album, man. So yeah, music,
Classic.
yeah.
It's classic.
All right, man. So who's your big inspiration in music that got you into it? Like, what made you want to do hip hop?
That's a compilation. Definitely Tupac. His storytelling, his raw ability to just, you know, speak the truth. Because sometimes it ain't about what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah. And he was one of those ones. Yeah. Definitely DMX. Yeah. You know, his ability to be vulnerable. Yeah. Who else we got? There was also, if it's just hip hop, there's also
well, music in general. I just say hip hop.
Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye, most definitely. The Temptations. I love James Brown. Yeah. It's a Man's World, you know.
Yeah, man.
And these guys were so, like, you had to be a real man to be in the 60s and the 70s, and you the man back then when they had the segregation, all kind of stuff. Like, they broke down barriers. And also J.A.C.E, of course, and Nas, you know, just Rakim. I think I said him already, but, you know, the legends. The legends.
Got you. Definitely. So what's more important to you? What comes first, your writing or your rapping? Because I know you're a writer, too.
Writing came first. Okay. Writing came first. Writing is... That's my true gift. You know, the ability to rap it is, you know, is a gift, of course. But, you know, I started off young writing. So that's how I know it was the writing first. It just came to me one day. And then it became rapping because I realized that I could take that and put it out this way. But writing, most definitely, you know, I got a book that I wrote that's, you know, be published soon about my life. And, you know, I've also written different stories as well. So writing, most definitely.
So do you see that in your future, probably publishing books? You know, still continuing to rap in the hip hop, but doing publishing books, maybe writing scripts for plays or movies. Do you see that in your future?
Absolutely. It's funny you said that too, because my sister and, you know, my woman always tell me that, like, you know, do more than just rap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely, I feel like by me not doing that, I'm being irresponsible with the gift God gave me.
Exactly. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. You're a spiritual guy, right? Mm-hmm. I listen to your music. Mm-hmm. You ever thought in your album probably doing like a prayer? Oh, I can see you doing it.
I appreciate that.
I can see you doing it. Add that into it.
Most definitely. Actually, my homeboy Volcanic, on a video I just did, it's called Where You Belong. It's off the Doors Open album. He was like, you know, you should do a prayer in the beginning. So I did that. Then I realized that, you know, I prayed for so many people through prison. I prayed for so many. I have a passion for prayer. So I would definitely love to do it, you know. Y'all just stay tuned because I got so much music, prayers. Right. I got so much. That's right, yeah. You know what I mean? I got so much to, you know, to put out there. But yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, man, let's do it. I was watching the Big Motion podcast, man. Shout out to them brothers. I heard you was a dancer, man. Explain that. What's up with that, man?
Man, dancing, it was just something we did in something, back in the day, the skating ring, Skate Galaxy. It was something we did, like, and I used to see,
you know, Skate Galaxy. That takes me way back, man.
Back in the big blue building. We would go on Saturdays. It was $7 to get in. And you had your best outfit on. You know, you walk in, everybody looking at you. 10 o'clock, that's when it, you know, put the skates up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to watch cats, you know, pop and go at it, you know what I'm saying? I would emulate that, go home, practice my moves. And then one time I was just like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pull out what I know. Man, I pulled that thing. I had a couple little older girls looking at me like, yeah, that's nice. After that, you know, the women loved it. So, you know, but I used to really love it though, like for real. I lost it along the way. But
man, it's sad. It's not like that anymore.
Nah,
man. That's how guys used to get the ladies, man. You know, if you couldn't rap or sing, man, you better know how to dance, man. You better get the attention somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I promise you. Absolutely.
So when do you start going into the studio? When you decided this is going to be my thing. Rap. When do you start taking it seriously going into the studio?
I started going into the studio when I moved to Baltimore. I met this cat named Terrell, you know, my homeboy Jinx and the Masterpiece, and there was another cat named Devin Gibson. And Jimmy as well as a white guy who did the beats. So when I met them, and they used to freestyle all the time and stuff like that, I was like, wait a minute, like we can really make something with this. So there was a studio in Jimmy's house, so we would go there, and I would just be over there all the time. That's, we would smoke our weed and stuff like that. But that's when I started to hone my craft. He had a booth and everything, and we actually made a CD. So that was around probably about 13, 14. That's when I started to go into the studio to try to lay music down. Mm-hmm.
So after you did your 11-year bid, what made you decide you're going to pursue this and take this as your passion?
Well, to be honest with you, I had let it go because I got so lost. I had lost myself. I let the music go. I was like, how can I be this and, follow God? But I was sitting there in my cell one day, and I asked the Lord, if you wanted me to do this music, you're going to have to give me a sign. And I can't remember the verse off the top of my head, but I opened the Bible. As soon as I opened it, it said, from your rising up to their sitting down, I am their music. And I said, okay. So I started to write, and he started just like take out, the curse words and the different things out of the music, you know what I'm saying? So I realized like I had to really utilize this gift if he was giving it back to me in the way he wanted me to do it. So I just started writing over and over and over. I got a lot of venom out of me. And then after a while, I ended up going to a county where I had a DVD player in front of me and everything. And people would come and give me CDs with music on them. And I would start writing to them. And I realized after a while, man, I got a bunch of rhymes stacked up. I have to get out here and do this because I survived. And he still allowed me to utilize this gift. So I feel like to me, it's more than just rap or Christian artist, hip-hop artist. This is my calling. You know what I'm saying?
So you said something just now that kind of led me to my next question, taking cursing out of it. I noticed you don't curse in your rhymes. Was that the reason why?
Absolutely. There's a few reasons. First and foremost, I knew that I was always a leader, and I finally was stepping into what God called me to be. So if I was going to be an example, I had to do things that other people could look at and say, wait a minute, I want to be like this. So I had to train myself not to curse, to help other people see that there's a way that we can do this without sounding ignorant, without, looking like the, typical black man or whatever it may be. And I trained myself. My roommate, I would make him, I forgot what it was. Anytime I cursed, I would have to do like 50 push-ups.
There you go.
Anytime I cursed.
That's why you swole now.
Hey, I ain't where I used to be, but I'm going to get there, though. Not like you. Word. But then I realized that my vocabulary increased as I stopped cursing.
It has you think more, better words you can use instead of using
exactly.
this.
Because it's easy to put, the word at the end to match with it, or, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to put that at the end, but then I realized I had to actually think deeper, So it was a challenge to myself, as well. I'm a man of God, so I wanted to speak right, as well.
So I had an interview with Kid and Ron G.
When it's over, they'll remember me.
Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Mill Experience. Comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share.
Who told you being intelligent is whack? So place your bets. My faith is fresh. I'ma make it stretch. Cause I sat there eye to eye with the face of death. And you ain't putting work in unless you break a sweat. Bringing back a 4-course meal. Keep the table set. Step in my belief. I'm expressive when I speak. Swim back to shore if you trying to tell me I'm too deep. Cause I was the stomach.